Hello everyone, my name is Megan Ballingy and I'm one of the librarians at Heartland Community College, and I have a short video for your English 102 class for your annotated bibliography. I'm going to show you how to find some of the sources that are required for your class and go through searching our iShare, looking at a database, and show you how to find some useful videos on NoodleTools and give you information about our help that we have available at the library. So let's get started. Right now we are on the English 102 LibGuide. This is for your class. We're also going to visit another website that has the links for the databases. All of the links and places that I'm visiting are going to be in the description down below this video, and it will have some timestamps for all of the various sections of the video as well. Let's go directly to finding books. We're going to use the iShare system. This has all of our books and materials that we have at Heartland, and it also has materials that are available through other libraries in Illinois, and we can get those for you for free. There is some information on requesting books, and we have a book pickup system this semester, and you can read more about that as well. So if you find materials that you want to request, we can get them at our campus. And I know that you need to have, as part of your sources, an article, a book, newspaper article, magazine article, and then also you're including your interview as well that you are doing. So within either iShare or Academic Search Complete, that's a database we're going to take a look at today, we'll be able to find that. All right, here we are at our search screen for iShare, and we can try searching a phrase, importance of reading to children at home, and let's just see what we find. We are going to search all iShare libraries. And hopefully what this will show us is that depending on how we search, the words and phrases and keywords we search, we're going to find different search results. So sometimes when we're searching within, like if we're searching Google, we can put in a full phrase like this. This will not necessarily work when you are searching in a library catalog or a database. We will probably have to remove some of these words in order to find what we're really looking for. We have to figure out how we can communicate with this catalog to find what resources we want. So to take a look at these results, we have some that may be helpful and some that might not. So let's remove part of our search and go ahead and try again, reading to children at home. And this looks like it has some more relevant resources. So whenever you are searching, just focus on trial and error. If you search for the first time and you can't find what you're looking for, try searching again. Often we get frustrated when we're searching because we haven't figured out how the database or the software that we're using is able to match search results. So this takes a little bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it, it's a lot easier to navigate. Okay, so our search has about 1,300 results, and I'm going to keep in mind the different sources that we are looking for. So we need to find a book, newspaper article, magazine article, and a regular research article. On the left-hand side are some ways to filter your search results. I can choose just to find what's available online, held by the library, open access. Those are materials that are freely available on the internet and are not behind any paywalls or anything like that. So those would be ones that we could find. Or I can just leave it like this and that will show me everything. And I can also change the creation date. This may be helpful, especially with this subject matter where we're going to find a lot of materials. So let's just change this last 20 years or so. And let's just look at books for right now. And I'm going to apply that filter. And take a look at the books that are available. So young children reading at home. Let's click that one. There's a very helpful citation generator right here that you can use. If you wanted to use this book in your research, you can save this and put it into your reference section. Always double check any of the citation generators that we're going to use for accuracy. And I'm going to show you NoodleTools, the resources we have for NoodleTools a little bit later too. This page has some more information about what's in this book. So it has the chapters listed and when it was published. Now, we don't happen to have this at Heartland, but you can request it from one of these other libraries and it will be sent to Heartland's for you to pick up. Let's click Available Online and Open Access to find books or materials online that we can get to. And let's see. This book may or may not be helpful, but it may talk about reading, children being read to at home. And we can click on this one. Available online. And this says full. Okay, we can also reset all the filters and go back, and we can, or we can just skip to go to the articles now. Click on articles and search. And now we have a list of articles. We have quite a few, 440,000, which is a ton of articles. So we may want to look at our filters and change those up again. Let's even just change this 1950 to today. And I can choose if I want to look at articles, newspaper articles, and book chapters. So I'm going to click those, and then our search results are going to be reduced, but now we're going to be looking at just those types of resources. Let's take a look at this first article. We can see it's available online. Here's that citation information again. And when we scroll, we can see a description, and this has home reading practices, which would be important to what we are looking for. And it also shows how we can find this. Now, this is going to be in our Academic Search Complete, which we can click on now. I'm also going to show you how to search that database as well. Okay, so that's how we find a lot of different materials using iShare. Back on our English 102 LibGuide, I'm going to go to Find Articles. Now this page is really helpful because we have some information about what a scholarly or an academic article looks like. It's going to look a lot different than a newspaper article, magazine article, other materials you've probably read. And if you click on this link, you can look at all the various parts of what a scholarly or research article looks like. And it identifies each of the parts of it. Let's click on Academic Search Complete. And now with this database, we're going to be more intentional about the phrases and the words, the keywords that we put into these boxes to search. You are probably most familiar with searching Google, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. You can't put a phrase or a question or anything like that in a database. We want to try to find the language that the database recognizes. So most often we'll be taking our keyword or our search terms and breaking them down a little bit. This part of searching is just trial and error. We want to try to find various keywords that reflect our topic, but we need to break them down and not pose it as a question. I'm just going to, when I start typing and Academic Search Complete recognizes phrases I'm putting in, it will make suggestions. So let's see if it will do that for us. If I put in reading to children at home, oh, it's not doing anything right now. Let's just search and see what happens. Now we can see with this search, we got about 1,200 results, and we have a lot of interesting articles, but we may not be getting everything that we want to find. So let's change the search. And try those search terms. However we search, we may get the same articles, we may get different articles. And sometimes it just takes a little bit to find those phrases that will really basically hit the jackpot when you are looking for sources. So reading aloud and children looks like this is really I see these first two articles look like those are going to be really helpful to us. And I can see that oral reading is something that showed up in those two. So I may want to change this instead of reading aloud and children, combining those search terms. I may want to try oral reading and children. That'll probably change our search results again. This is all trial and error, and my suggestion to you is when you start searching in the database is keep a list of the search terms that you are putting in. Either keep a document open or just write it down on a scratch paper, because when you start to search and some time goes on, let's say you're searching for like 15 minutes, etc., you will start to forget which terms you tried before, and it can get confusing. So just be a little organized about your search and it'll help you save time. Okay, so we can click on these articles right away if we want to. We can also go to the refine results on the left-hand side as well. We can change the search publication dates. We can change what we're limiting it to. I know you need a magazine article, so if we needed to find a magazine article, we can click that. And we can also click newspapers. That was another thing that you needed. And we can find, click on this one. And as you click, it will update. I'm going to look at magazines, and we're going to click on newspapers also. And the way that you can tell those apart is on the left-hand side, there is a little icon, and it will tell you what you are looking at. So these are academic journals. If you're finding too many of the same thing, like let's say we don't want to look at academic journals anymore, we just want to look at newspapers and magazines. You can click those, and then what you'll see, and this is a little bit confusing, you'll see a periodical, let's see, and I think they're all going to probably say that for a magazine, and then you'll also see newspapers. Let's take a look at this first result. Click on the title. We can read a little bit more. We see the source is Orana, and this is an article. And here's the abstract, an article in a magazine. An abstract has the summary of the article. From here, we can click on the PDF to read the full text and download it. What I would suggest is as you are searching for materials, go ahead and save them. Even if you don't think you'll use them, it'll save you time later. You also have a citation format generator here on the right-hand side. Again, if you're going to use this, make sure that you check it against your authority on the MLA citation, if that's the Purdue OWL website, or use NoodleTools. You can also save straight to your Google Drive as well. If you're going to do that, make sure you have your Google Drive open on another tab and make sure that it's being saved there. And let's go ahead and just unclick magazine so you can see what this looks like. The little symbol for a newspaper article just says news. And it will tell you where it was published. So this one we're looking at, published in the New York Amsterdam News. in the year 2000. Okay, back to our LibGuide. Under Find Websites, there is some information about how to use the Google Advanced Search to find websites and use those same skills that we were practicing in iShare and Academic Search Complete for narrowing down our search results. So there's some examples on that page as well. Evaluate sources. This is where, if you are searching on the internet, and even when you're searching within the library databases, looking at your sources and asking some questions. So when was the information published? Is it appropriate for research? Who is the author? Is there any bias? And you can use these two methods to help you evaluate sources. MLA Citation. On this page, I have several resources. The first one I mentioned before, the Purdue OWL website. If you haven't used that before, it has some great resources. It's a comprehensive guide to MLA citation style, so it has sample MLA research papers so you can see what they look like, how to include in-text citations, all of that. And there is also a few videos on NoodleTools. If you haven't used NoodleTools before, on the left, there's some NoodleTools support, how to get logged in for the first time from the Heartland website. And then this one is how to create a new project and add a source. So take a look at those videos as well. On the home page, I also want to point out library resources for spring 2021. This library guide has everything that is going to be up-to-date information about the Heartland Library for spring. We have some updates going on with our library website, so everything is going to be here. This is also where you can access the database links as well, how to find out more about book pickups and make research appointments. Research appointments are where you can request to meet with a librarian, myself or another librarian, to talk about your project, get one-on-one help. One of the librarians on Zoom can search your topic and you can learn a little bit more, and this is very, very helpful. Also on this guide, there are links for research appointment, ask a librarian, you can chat with us or email us. There's also a link to tutoring services and my information, so if you wanted to email me directly as well. All right, well, I hope you learned something in this video, and good luck on your paper, and I hope you have a great day.